The tragic and shocking assassination of the Conservative commentator Charlie Kirk, a kind, caring, loving young father of two beautiful children, has sent shockwaves right across the free world. In life, Charlie Kirk spent his time politely inviting and debating with those that didn't agree with him, and there's no doubt that he opened the eyes and the minds of millions of young Americans. Back in the day, this was called debate. In 2025, the hard left and the liberal elitists, and I include the media in that, have turned people like Charlie into phony modern day Nazis and fascists who must be silenced at all costs. But the monster who pulled that trigger doesn't realise the ramifications of what they've done. Charlie's words and Charlie's life has now been immortalised, and the Christian faith, the free world, does indeed have a new martyr. Those vile and sick animals who took to social media to mock his death before his body was even cold think they've shut Charlie Kirk up forever. Instead, they've ensured that he will live forever and that his message will become even louder. Charlie was and will remain an absolute hero, a man who dared to stand up, speak out and fight for his country and the future of all of our families. He had the utmost respect for us here in the UK, and he appeared to love the United Kingdom, knowing more about our history than most of our pathetic liberal-minded school teachers.
Hello everybody, it's great to be here tonight. Thank you to the Oxford Union for inviting me. I never went to university. I take that as a great compliment. So therefore, everyone who went to university should be able to run circles around me. You'll be the judge, but I'll do my best. Has Donald Trump gone too far? Well, I can nitpick at how vague that question is. What is too far exactly? Are his tweets too long? Can all of us even agree on what we're aiming at? I don't think so. The truth is this: if you dislike the West, and if you hate the West's values, if you think the West is evil fundamentally and deserves to be destroyed, then anything Donald Trump does basically short of surrender will be too far for you. If I was visiting this school 100 years ago, speaking in support of an American president, I think we would at least have some broad agreement on what a country's leader should be trying to do. But we don't anymore. I don't think it's because America's changed. In fact, I think it's because Britain has changed. From my perspective, Britain is one of the greatest countries in the history of the world. You are the country of Shakespeare, the steam engine, and Adam Smith. You defeated Napoleon, you destroyed the slave trade, you stood up to Hitler. My country, America, became great as it is because of what we inherited from you, from Britain. When I hear the slogan, "Make America Great Again," I'm also hearing, quote, "Return America to its British roots." Great Britain has everything in the world to be proud of. But when I look at Britain today, I see a country where the ruling elites are in a race to abandon the very values, the values that made them so great in the first place.
Charlie's death simply must act as a stark warning and a strong wake-up call to all of us here in the United Kingdom. You see, the left have been coming for all of us and for our country, for our schools, our universities, for our police services and our institutions for a very, very long time now. And to a dangerous degree, they've succeeded. You see, the hard left will not debate, they never listen, they're not interested in anyone else's opinion. And as we've seen time and time again at demonstrations outside of hotels here in the UK, they can't even tell you why they're there half the time, and they simply and utterly refuse to engage unless it's with the use of violence or verbal abuse. And the mainstream media and a whole host of celebrities have excused and laughed off, no, I'm going to say it, they've encouraged the myth that right-wing politics is evil and is a legitimate target for violence. Even our own Prime Minister labelled those merely in absolute grief over the slaughter of 3 young girls in Southport last year. Well, he labelled them all as far-right thugs, putting a government-approved stamp on hatred. And make no mistake, If guns were more readily available in the UK, this place right now would look more like Afghanistan than the United Kingdom, and people like Tommy Robinson will almost certainly be dead on the direct orders of the mainstream media. And I tell you what, we'll use Tommy as the perfect example as how the mainstream media encourage violence against those telling the truth and against those who they disagree with. There are literally hundreds of thousands of examples where they have blatantly lied and dangerously defamed Tommy Robinson. Some of the most famous political commentators in the UK are banged to rights guilty of putting a cross and a target on his back. And we know exactly who they are. The hypocrite that is Nigel Farage last night paid a lovely tribute to Charlie Kirk, a patriot, a family man, someone not afraid to tell the truth and who speaks his mind, a Christian fighting for what's right. Very nice, Nigel. But we have our own precious version of Charlie Kirk back here in the UK. But instead of supporting him, you threw him under a bus to appease the liberals that would like to see you go the same way as Charlie. And it dawned on me this morning, that we are now living in historical times. Good is at war with evil. And not since the end of the Second World War have we faced the dangers that we face today. The real Nazis are back, only this time they live among us, calling themselves liberals. They are infested with mental illness, bitterness, envy, and pure hatred for anyone that doesn't submit to their views. Their mantra is a very simple one: we want what you've got, and we're going to take it by any means possible. And if you try to stop us, well, they will kill you. But here's the thing, with their violence and murder, they hope to shut us all up and close us all down. But that ain't going to happen, and it never will. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. You will never be forgotten.